Hello, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Nasty here. Welcome to a new episode of the 3-tier squad builder. This is the second one we've done on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. And if you haven't seen the first episode where we took on the Bundesliga, I'll leave a link in the top right corner. Make sure you go and check that one out as I explain a little bit more about what this series is really about. So, do me a favor right at the start of this video and smash the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. So this is tier number 1, and today we're doing France. So, a very popular nation in FUT, like there's lots of good French players on the game, so it's something where right at the start of the game people look towards to go build their squads and stuff like that, and that's what this first squad right here is. It's a super cheap, like half non-rare, well mainly non-rare, and then a couple of rare players that really don't cost very much at all, going on in to the squad builder. And today we've got like a 4-3-3 formation going on. It's just not a very special squad. The defence itself is all non-rare. Got a little bit of pace going on with the two centre-backs, but nothing crazy, and they're lacking like the physical that you need to really be a great defender on this game. The midfield was alright, because we had Van Keur, Cosiello, and Rabiot in the midfield. Rabiot is actually a really fun player, and he's got a little bit of presence about him. You know, he's got the big hair, and he's like relatively tall and stuff as well. Whereas Cosiello, yeah, he kind of looks a little bit like he does in his picture, like very, very young and almost like a child. And then I've got Ntep and Tovan as my two wingers. So Ntep's more about the pace, Tovan's more about the trickery, I guess you could say, like very good at dribbling and stuff like that. And then a cheap, fast striker is what people look to do when they haven't got many coins. Defrel, he plays for Roma, he's got 89 pace, 82 dribbling, and his shooting's not half bad as well. So that is the sort of striker that you're definitely looking to put in to your starter squads here. And it's not going to cost you much at all. This whole team is definitely under like 10,000 coins. So that's a thing. You're really not going to pay much, and it is for those of you that are either just starting FIFA now, so a couple of weeks after most of us have got the game at launch, yeah, and then you're not willing to put any money into the game. You just want to like have a starter team, earn some coins along the way, and then maybe progress later on during the game. So this particular squad, I'm showing you the goals that I got with it now, was difficult to play with, I'm not going to lie. We're a couple of weeks into FUT now. I'm like 3 or 4 weeks in, however long I've had the game, I don't know. It feels like forever now, and because I've done so many videos and stuff. But I've obviously moved on. Like, even the Road to Glory now, I've got some pretty cool players. So, using really low budget rubbish teams like this, I don't know. It's sort of yeah, difficult, because everyone you're coming up against has got a better team than you, really, at this stage of the game. I was playing in the daily knockout tournament, and I was coming up against, you know, those Prem teams which have got like Dele Alli, they've got Eric Bailly at the back, Rashford and Gabriel Jesus, you know, those sorts of pretty expensive, I guess you could say, but above average teams. That's what I was coming up against. One particular game, I think this particular one you'll see in the clips from, is where I got most of my goals. I was 1-0 down, then 3-1 down. I brought the game back and I was 4-3 up, and I think I eventually won like 5-3. So that was kind of a nice comeback, and it did show that although it wasn't the easiest team to play with, some of the players in that squad were actually alright. So now we move on to tier number 2. This is where the squad gets a little bit more expensive. You'll notice that we've got no non-rares now. We've just got rare players on the game. Some of them will have some chemistry styles on it, although most of the ones that I've got here are just on basic. It's not something that I necessarily think about as much nowadays, because I chop and change my teams all the time. I don't want to waste all my hunter cards on a team that I'm going to use for like 5 matches or whatnot. But we've got some decent players. The centre-backs here, Perrin and Umtiti. Umtiti's going to cost you quite a bit. I mean, the last time I checked, he was like 10k. Whether or not he's that right now, I'm not too sure. But one thing I'm finding on FIFA 18 is that there is a huge jump. So you get the really cheap team like we got at the start, and then tier number 2 here is a little bit more expensive, but I'm struggling to find the French players that are a bit more expensive to put into this team to make it like a decent jump between tier 1 and tier 2. I think I've done that here by putting the likes of Umtiti, Bakayoko and Kevin Gamero in. It does boost the price quite significantly. But then the jump from tier number 2 to tier number 3, you'll see in a little while, is like monstrous. So it goes like tier 1 to tier 2, tier 2 to tier 3. It's like off the top of the screen. It's crazy because the really good players on this game, it seems to be or the really the players that just seem to work on the game, so the likes of Martial and stuff, although they're not the highest rated elite players on the game, if people figure out that those are the players that work, their prices are soaring, whereas even like higher rated players that don't really fit the meta of the game, their prices are crashing down. And then, like, obviously all the icons and stuff are all very expensive as well. So it's an odd one. This particular squad wouldn't cost you a lot. I could get it on the road to glory, no problem at all, and have absolutely tons of coins left over. But it does feature some good players, like that front three of Ben Arthur at Cam, then Ben Yedder up front with his 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot, and of course Ben Arthur's got 5-star skill, and then Gamero, who is just one of those players that really does work on this game, and his stats sort of show that as well. And actually, he's a player that's kept nearly like a 10,000 coin. He's stuck at that sort of 10k mark, whereas normally a player like him would come down quite dramatically, but I think he's one of the players that in the weekend league seems to work quite well. I've said it multiple times before in my videos, if you watch them, that Gamero and Gabriel Jesus are the two players that really just have that factor where everything sort of goes in their favour. And I noticed it happening to me today, like the odd bounce and stuff would just fall to Gamero. I'll take it. If I'm using him, I'll take it. If not, I absolutely hate playing against him, man. But he scored some nice goals for me. This whole team was more usable than tier number 1, that's for sure. Yeah, it just was. Like, obviously, you would expect as you go forward that the teams get easier and easier to use. Sometimes tier number 3 is quite difficult to use because people really try hard when you're using some crazy players. But often there's 1 or 2 like super players in the highest tier which make it a lot of fun because you're trying to get the ball to them, like icons or just high rated elite players on the game. But this is like the sort of squad that you could happily, easily use. It may not get you the best results in the weekend league, but certainly could propel you up in the divisions, no problem. And then, as you can see, tier number 3 is a bit of a madness. Most of the money is in an icon in midfield, but other than that, it's still a huge jump up in terms of price. This is for you guys that are willing to put FIFA points in or do really well in the weekend league and earn some crazy, crazy rewards. We've got the likes of, Sidibe, the right back, features in both squads. Lacking decent right backs for France, and actually left backs as well. Like Theo Hernandez is alright, there's a couple of alright ones on the game, but fullbacks in terms of the French nation are not necessarily the strongest thing to use. So I nearly went with a 3 at the back, but then I realised 3 at the back is not great. Koscielny and Varane centre back, 2 very elite players there. A midfield of Matuidi, one's to watch Tolisso, so I've got him and Theo Hernandez, 2 players that could go up in value if they get like boosts for their informs. Patrick Vieira, 88 rated icon in midfield. I picked him up for like 1.4 million. I think he's like 1.8 now. So obviously, yeah, I mean, picture that being Pogba if you wanted to have slightly less of a jump, because Pogba's like 400 or 500k, whereas obviously Vieira is hugely expensive. Or you could use someone else in the midfield and then get Informer Tweedy or something. I don't know. Do what you want. But this is a very elite French team. We got Vieira, we got Ousmane Dembele and Martial, and then up front on his own is Antoine Griezmann. I nearly used Mbappe because he's got like such a high cost card this year. But then Griezmann's probably known as one of like the best French strikers, so if not the best French striker, so I should really use him in today's squad. And I wanted to test him out because it's like a player that I don't think I've actually picked up and used, because obviously he costs over 300,000. So this team in total is like way over 2 million, which is obviously a huge jump from like the 60k or whatever tier number 2 would cost you. But pick and choose certain players from certain tiers, just fit it to whatever you've got. I just wanted to like showcase different budgets of squads. That is the aim. I don't want to necessarily stick to tier number 1 has to cost 10k or less. Tier number 2 has to cost 40k to 60k, and then tier number 3 can only be a maximum of 500. I want to like really just show different things each week. Like as we progress another couple of weeks through the game, my tier number 1 may go up to like 40k minimum. Like my cheapest team might be about 40k, because at that point in time, if you're regularly playing the game, you will have that to build your squad, even without spending any money, of course. You look at the Road to Glory that we've been playing. Yeah, I've gone quite into it this year and played quite a lot of games. but I've got like 500k, I reckon, if I sold everything. So that's pretty good. I think we're doing really well. So it just shows you that you don't necessarily have to spend money. But this year on my main account, spending a lot of money has actually really led to me having an awful lot of stuff. Like, I've got loads of coins left over and the ability to build teams like this, to make videos like this, which is obviously why I have to spend the money to be able to make multiple videos and stuff like that. So, but it's definitely not as fun as the Road to Glory. Being like just completely grinding out the game and not spending any money is the most fun way to play, and it's really rewarding this year, that is for sure. So this is the team that I found to be, or these are the players from the 3 different tiers that I found to be the most usable and that I would put into an ultimate French team if I could. And I have, so there you have it. I don't think we've got anyone from tier number 1. As I said, it was very difficult to use, and I just preferred the players from the other tiers. We got Ruffier in goal, he was good. I imagine Lloris is great as well, but he was, again, more coins, so it would have made the tier number 3 even more of a leap up, but I imagine Lloris would be a great option. Sidibe and Theo Hernandez, about as good as you're going to get in those positions. And then Umtiti and Varane. I like Umtiti on this game, whereas Koscielny was alright, but like, I feel like the Barca centre-back was better. And then Varane is a monster. I love him on this game. Ousmane Dembele, Martial, yeah, they're good fun to use. Bakayoko next to Vieira, you're not going to get through that midfield. That is rock solid. And then a strike force of Gamero on the right with his, like, crazy abilities to just be lucky. And then Griezmann actually has an incredible shot on him and was a lot of fun to use. You see I scored some nice goals with him as well on this game. So there you have it, guys. That wraps things up for the French 3-tier squad builder today. Hope you have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favour, smash a thumbs up on the video. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new around here. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.